Hey, what's going on guys? Yaniv here, and in today's video we're going to talk about how to get your product to make more sales. Because the reality of the situation is, even sometimes when you do everything correctly and you invest and you do your product research and you kind of do everything right, when your product comes into Amazon, it's not always going to sell as well as you think it will. And there's many reasons for that, and hopefully in today's video I can show you guys exactly what those are, maybe help you diagnose them, and also some steps to actually help you fix those issues. And we're going to use two of my products in this video because they have, they're not optimized for different reasons, and 99% of the time it's one of these two reasons that's going wrong. So I have a unique situation here that I can share with you and hopefully help you with your products. So before we do actually jump into the video, if you haven't had issues with your product yet, this is something that's very, very common. Not every product you're going to put out on Amazon is going to be a winner. That's not realistic to think of it that way. So if this hasn't happened to you, then consider yourself lucky, but you should watch this video to be prepared for it because it's only a matter of time. Even myself, I've had many products that didn't succeed. And I'm going to show you guys just a couple of them that could use some help. So now that we're here in the computer, you can see here we are in some sort of detailed page, and I'm going to explain to you guys exactly what this is and how to read it. But firstly, how to actually get here is you just go to reports, then go to business reports, and then click on detail page, sales and traffic by child ASIN. I'm not only going to explain these things to you, I'm actually going to give you guys some advice on actually how to do this. There's a few processes you can do to actually increase your sales. But first, before we do that, you actually need to be able to diagnose the issue with your product. So as you can see here, we have product 1 and product 2. And the reason I'm using this month right here, so I'm using a 30-day period because I think that every 30 days you should be checking, in this kind of detailed report and see exactly what's going on with your products month to month, because obviously things change. So so pick a 1 month period and figure out exactly what's going on here. So before we can actually start diagnosing, we need to understand what we have here. And what I've done is I've actually gone into the columns and I've unchecked these three, so parent ASIN, child ASIN, and title. In reality, you can just keep those checked. I just did that so you guys wouldn't see my product. Here we have sessions. That's one thing you want to click. Session percentage, units ordered, unit session percentage, and ordered product sales if you want that as well. And basically, let me just cover really quickly exactly what this means. So the sessions, it just shows you how many times a unique visitor has come to your listing. So in this situation, this product had 4,500 this month, unique visitors. Session percentage just means out of all the traffic that we've had, so 4,500 plus 785, 85% of the traffic went to this product and 14 to this product. We also have units ordered, that's just something good to know. But this one right here is probably the most important one, and it's the units session percentage. Basically what this means is how many people that have visited have actually ended up buying. So about 16.5% of people who went to this listing actually purchased, which is not ideal. And that's an issue. And over here you can see it's 28, almost 29%, which is a lot better. First things first is to understand what's actually happening with your product. And before I do, I want to just refresh this to, make sure that you guys, see that this is, real stuff, like it's not, anything going on here. But these were two actual, issues that I had to work with on one of my seller accounts a few months back. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what you could do now to really, expedite this process. There's two main reasons why your product isn't selling. One of them is that, your conversion rate, so the session percentage is too low and not enough people are actually wanting to buy your product. So it's just not desirable enough. And the second issue is like this one, where there's just not enough traffic coming to the listing. So yeah, 30% of the people are buying, or nearly 30%, but we just don't have that many people coming to the actual listing. So as I'm editing, I realized that I never mentioned why I chose to show you this month in particular. And it's because, like I said, there are two reasons why your product isn't going to do well. Either because your conversion rate is low or because you can't get enough sessions. And in this particular month, I had two products that each had a problem that was, reducing their sales, but each of them was in a different way, in actually one of each of the ways. So it was a very nice example to be able to show you guys exactly what to do in both situations. And as you can see here, if all we did was, increase this conversion rate to this one, we would literally be doubling the amount of money. So it'd be like $32,000, $33,000 in sales by just getting this conversion rate to this one. Now, obviously that's easier said than done, but I'm going to show you guys a few examples of what you can do. Now, the easiest thing to actually solve is the traffic. So having more sessions is easier, but if you have a low session percentage, getting more traffic isn't worth doing. So if you have 5% conversion rate, adding more traffic is not gonna help you solve that issue. 5% conversion rate, your main issue is actually increasing your conversion rate. So let's go into the first situation here, and I have some examples. I'm gonna show you how to actually potentially increase your traffic. So first things first, we're gonna go over the traffic, and then we're gonna go over exactly how to increase conversion rate. So how to get more traffic. In this situation, we're gonna use a tool called Helium 10. And Helium 10 is just, again, a tool that I haven't used in the past, but if I did, it would have made it a lot easier for me. But you live and you learn, and now it's much easier for me to actually optimize my products and to make sure that I'm fixing the issues that are there with them. So the first things first, to actually figure out why we're not getting traffic and actually how to get more traffic is simply by actually showing up for keywords that our competitors are showing up for, right? So if we're selling this product, for example, let's say this is our product, it's actually only making $2,000, right? And we're trying to figure out, what can we do to make this product better? Now, in this case, I've assumed, right, the product looks pretty decent. It's not great, but it's not bad. The conversion rate should be pretty decent on this. What I've realized is I found it on page 3, so probably is just not showing up for enough keywords. So the main thing that we want to do is actually figure out what exactly the keywords that we're not showing up for and our competitors are showing up for. So what I've done is I've opened up a bunch of listings here. All these competitors are actually making a decent amount of money. And I don't think their listings are too much better. So this one's pretty nice, but for the most part, they're not that much better. So what we're gonna do here is we're actually gonna pick up the ASINs of all our competitors. So I'm gonna grab every single ASIN, and I'm gonna go into Cerebro here, and we're gonna paste them into the search bar. And the reason we're gonna do this is because we wanna know exactly what keywords they're showing up for that we aren't. So now I'm gonna go through and paste in all the rest, and I'll get back to you guys. All right, so I've put all of them in here, and basically what I've done, again, like I said, is I picked the best competitors, the competitors that are making the most money, and I put them into my search words because we wanna know which keywords they're ranking for that we're not, because if they're ranking for it, then obviously they're making money from them, and we should be ranking for them as well, right? So that's how we're gonna get the traffic. So let's press on Get Keywords now that we have all of them. New search. And just gonna take a minute for it to actually load the keywords. So now that it finished the keywords, we want to go to search volume, just filter by search volume. And this is gonna show us the biggest keywords that these products are somehow ranking for. Now, obviously, something that happens with Helium 10 is that it's gonna give you keywords that aren't very relevant. So now what we need to do is we actually need to narrow them down for relevant keywords, because sunglasses for women, that's not really the product that we're using. We're using, a night vision kind of glasses, or like a blue light blocking glasses. That's kind of what we're going for. So really, people who are searching up for sunglasses for women, they're not looking for this product, they're looking for something else. So what we wanna do is go into advanced filters, and we're gonna go to competitor rank average 1 to 30. And basically what we've done here is we picked the first 30 organic positions. We only wanna see the keywords that our competitors are ranking for between 1 and 30, because if you're going to, anything beyond that, so 100 to, or more, it's on page 2, 3, 4, 5, and most likely those keywords aren't where they're getting most of their sales. So we just want to see the best keywords, which are usually between 1 and 30, okay? Then we're going to ranking competitors, and I usually like to put at least 2, because when you have 1, that just means that only one of the competitors up here needs to rank for that keyword, so it's sometimes not the most relevant. So if we do 2, that means at least 2 competitors are ranking within 1 to 30 for a certain keyword, which means if 2 competitors that are making a lot of money are ranking between 1 to 30, it's probably a pretty relevant keyword, and probably a keyword you want to be ranking for as well. So I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, you can leave a comment down below and I'll do my best to explain it there. So press apply here, and as you can see, we have 105 keywords. And now what you want to do is actually not touch anything, just take your keywords, come up here, press copy to clipboard. Then we're going to go to index checker, and we're actually going to paste them all in here. And the reason we're doing this is because we want to see which keywords, so these are, we've realized these are the relevant keywords, these are the keywords that are making the most money, but we want to know where we're actually ranking for them. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to our listing. So remember I said we're going to use this as our listing. So we're going to take our ASIN, we're going to go back into Helium 10, and we're going to paste it in here. And okay, so it pulled it up, and then we can check for the keywords. So continue. And the reason we're doing this is because we want to know which keywords, again, are ranking for, so that we can run PPC on them, so we can add them to our listing, so we can actually start to be seen by more people, right? Because I said either the problem is desirability, so do people actually want your product, or can they not find your product if they do want it? So in this case, people can't find this product even if they would want it. So our goal is to actually have people see it so then they can buy it, okay? So now that we're here, we want to come up here and export as Excel. Open up the Excel document, and we're gonna make some space here. And actually I'm gonna delete C, D, and E, column C, D, and E, because we actually don't need those. We just want the first check. And what you're gonna wanna do is click on the first two, go to data, filter, and then we're going to filter, and we're gonna filter out the indexed. So we only wanna see the keywords that we're not indexed for. So right here, these are all the keywords these are all the keywords that we're not indexing for. So our competitors are ranking for these within 1 to 30, yet we're actually not showing up for these for some reason. Now that's a huge issue, okay? And we need to actually, for these keywords, you'd need to actually put these in your listing. So in your title, in your bullets, in your description, in your backend, you need to put them in here. Now, again, you need to go through them and make sure that they're actually relevant. So I don't know what Pug's sunglasses are. That's probably not very relevant. Men's sunglasses, probably not very relevant either. Nighttime driving glasses for men, that's very relevant. Nighttime glasses for driving, those are super relevant. So don't just put all of these in, because a lot of them aren't gonna be relevant. Only put the ones that are actually, make sense for your product, and actually something that someone, if they search up on Amazon, would actually be looking for your product. So, Pug sunglasses, that's not, the blue light blocking glasses that we're looking for. So don't put that in there. So the next thing we can do is also actually go to indexed, and we can take all the indexed ones. So these are all ones that we're showing up for. Now, even if we're showing up for them, that doesn't mean that necessarily, we're doing good on them, because that just means that we don't have to put them in our listing. However, because they're probably already ranking there. However, this does mean that, if you're only making 2,000 in sales like this guy was, that means that, these are probably, you're probably not ranking very highly organically on these. So you can easily run these as PPC, like in a PPC campaign, and they should probably do pretty well for you in terms of getting you ranked and then getting you, organic sales. But the thing is, you need to make sure that like stuff like this, men's sunglasses, that's not something good, right? Just make sure, again, it's relevant ones. Now that's just one way of doing this, right? Again, these ones you want to put, the ones that you're not indexing, you want to put them in your listing. These ones you want to put them in a PPC campaign, most likely, because you're probably not making many sales from them. Okay, now that's one way, but I want to show you guys another way as well to actually get more traffic to your listing. And again, we're going to go to Cerebro here, but this time we're not going to put our competitors in. We're actually going to put our product in. So we have the ACE in here. So this is kind of another way to do it. And we're going to press get keywords. And what it's going to do now is it's actually going to put out all the keywords that we're ranking for, in general. The problem is, even if we're ranking for them, again, it doesn't mean that we're actually, people can find us. Because if we're on page 20, no one's really going to find us. So what we have to do here is we have to come down here and just do it by search volume. So we're going to go by search volume. And what this is going to show us here in Helium 10 is it's going to show us which organic position we're in. Okay. So obviously, if it's a relevant keyword, but you're ranked, 105, that's probably on like page 4 or 5. No one's going to find you there. So that's the problem with, with not being seen, right? Even if your product is wanted, it's not being seen. So you're going to want to grab keywords like this, put them in a PPC campaign. So what you're going to want to do here, and I know, guys, this is probably going to be really difficult for some people to do, but in reality, if your product isn't selling, you need to do everything you can to get it to sell. So what you're going to have to do here is go through all these keywords and just X out the ones that aren't relevant to your product. So this ones aren't relevant, this one's not relevant. This is, right, night driving glasses, that's our product. Glasses for men, not really what we're selling. I don't know what these are, I don't know what those are. Nope. So night vision glasses, sure. Men's aviator sunglasses, nope. These ones, yes. And again, you're just gonna have to keep going through these and then, X out everything that's not exactly your product. Driving glasses, okay. And then you're just gonna keep doing this. Now, I'm not gonna do this because there's a ton of keywords, right? There's like 600 keywords, which is a lot. But the thing is, at least grab your most searched for keywords, because look, this is clearly a keyword that's very, very important for you, right? You are ranking for it, night driving glasses. However, you're ranked 105. And no one's gonna find you on 105. So what you have to do is you have to X out all the keywords in here. Then once you have all the keywords you kind of want, like all the keywords that are relevant to you, but you're not ranking for, or not ranking highly for, when you've taken them out, then you want to go to export, and you want to export to Frankenstein. Or you can do this Frankenstein, or you can do it to clipboard, whatever, and you'll have them here, and you can copy them, whatever, all the ones that are actually relevant, and then you can take them to a PPC campaign and run PPC to those keywords, because clearly you are ranking for them. However, people can't find your product when you're on page 5. So we need to get you higher pages, which means that we need to run PPC on those keywords to get you up there. So I know that might have been a lot. If you need to go back and watch that part again, it's very, very important, because that's really the only way that I've seen success with actually fixing the sessions issue, the traffic issue, when people just aren't finding your listing. That's really the only way to do it, is through PPC, but through highly targeted PPC for keywords that you need to show up for. Now, in certain situations when you run this PPC, it might not be profitable for you, but that's totally fine, because you're not really doing it to get profit from the PPC. You're doing it so that you can get ranked for those keywords and then afterwards make money organically. So when people just search it up organically, they'll be able to find your product that way. That's really the goal. So don't really worry about being too profitable with these keywords. The real goal is to just get sales on those keywords so that you can get shown higher and higher for those particular ones. Because in reality, if your session, unit session percentage is pretty high, so let's say 29%, your problem is just to get people, just get eyeballs on your listing. So don't really worry about the PPC costs. So I hope that was helpful for those of you who have, very low sessions. Now, this one is a little bit more difficult with products like this one, which is, 16%, when you're worrying about the conversion rate, and you're getting enough sessions, but just people aren't buying. It's a little bit more of a complicated topic, and the reason why it's so complicated is because there is no magic formula or right answer to a situation like this, right? I have just a couple things to go over here, just so I don't forget them, because there's only a few things, and you've probably heard them before. Okay, the first one being your pictures. They're probably really shit. And the reality of the situation is probably people are just not wanting to buy. So for example, you have to look at your pictures objectively. If you've gotten pictures, you need to look at them and you need to really take the emotion out of it. Look at your picture and then look at the competitors. So for example, in my personal opinion, I think this looks way better than this guy's picture. And everything points to the fact that it does. So that's one thing, right? Pictures. Another thing, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this because there's no, again, like I said, magic formula, but these are things you need to take the emotion out of and look at it very seriously. Because if you're not gonna look at it objectively, then your business is doomed, right? You can't. The second thing is obviously title, bullets, stuff like that. Now, in reality, I don't think that title, bullets, and features actually have too much weight in terms of conversion rates and the unit session percentage, just because mostly humans are very visual creatures and they're looking at images to see whether or not a product is something that they want, right? Sometimes the bullet points can actually convince someone, but more often than not, if your conversion rate is very, very low, it's because of your pictures. The third thing is your price, also very important. If everyone on all your competitors are selling your product at $5 or $10 and you're selling it for $25, that's gonna hurt your conversion rate, right? No matter what, you're not gonna be able to compete really with them. You can't expect to have such a high conversion rate if you're a lot higher price than everyone else. So that's also something to note. Another thing is reviews. If you have a bad review, so for example, this guy has 4.5 stars, right? This guy only has 4 stars with less reviews. So in what world would you ever choose this person's glasses over this person's, right? This person has more reviews and a higher rating. This one has less reviews and a lower rating. You can't really do anything about that if your reviews are bad, right? You had to, that's kind of a problem that happened before. You should have just had better quality product, or at least try to improve the quality of product for your next order. So those are really the only reasons that your listing would be doing bad on conversion. Like I said, there's no magic formula. I wish I could give you something like the last tip, which is gonna be able to go into it and just do some stuff, run some PPC campaigns and get yourself ranked. Unfortunately, that's not the case with a situation like this. You should really have to look at it objectively and really think, if you were a customer, which product would you buy? And try to solve situations like that. Now, a lot of the times it's because of people's pictures. Like I said, I think if you had to pinpoint one thing that was the biggest cause for people's, people failing on Amazon, is that their first picture or that the pictures are just absolutely horrible, okay? And if your picture's bad, you're not gonna be able to make money. Now, if you want a tip on, the best ways to get pictures nowadays is like 3D renders and stuff like that. Now, they're really expensive. So for some people, that's probably just not something you can afford. But the least you have to do is get professional pictures done. You can't be taking them yourself because there's no way you're going to be able to compete with other people, because there are people who are getting professional pictures. So look at it objectively. Now, lastly, what I want to talk about is actually helping some of you out who maybe are going to try this, but it doesn't work, or for whatever reason, it doesn't, you can't, make it happen. And if that's the case, first of all, join our Facebook group. I'm going to leave a link in the description. Some people will be able to help you out there. I'm always in there also helping out. Or, if I have some time, I'm pretty busy nowadays, but you can message me on Facebook, and I'll try to help you out there as well. Take a look at your listing, but it's really difficult to get back to everyone, but I'll do my best. And like I said, if you're just failing and it's just really nothing you can do anymore, you've tried it all, you've spent the money on PPC, you've done what I showed in this video and just not working out, I also want to show you guys a way to actually potentially break even, or even just the easiest way to get rid of your inventory. If you just want to get rid of it, maybe start over and try again. And I have a few things written down here. So the first thing you can try, and this is something I've tried in the past with actually some pretty great success with one of the products I just wanted to get rid of, wanted it out of here and just never deal with it again, was to just lower your price to the break-even point. Usually, everyone on Amazon, obviously is getting profit margins, right? Because you want to be making money. Just drop your price to the break-even. A lot of the times people are going to buy it out, and that's it. And in a situation like if you're looking at, having super high long-term storage fees, like if you haven't sold out and it's been like 6 months, it's creeping up, you got to get rid of your inventory. And the best way to do that is just going into break even and just getting rid of it. Now, number two, right? If you're already hitting, like it's already been past 6 months, you're paying a crazy amount in storage fees, it might just be worth it to just dispose of your inventory. And again, this is something I had to do as well before, right? So I've gone through all of this before. And disposing of your inventory is, it's not the funnest thing, but it's pretty cheap. It's 15 cents per unit to just get it out of there, right? Because storage fees are going to cost you a lot more than 15 cents per unit, and they're going to be coming out month after month after month. So it's not worth it. A lot of times do the math and figure out, you'll see that just disposing of it, it's going to be a lot cheaper than even 1 month of storage fees, depending on how much inventory you have. And lastly, this is obviously, ideal situation, but and in a situation like this, you might even make some money, is actually liquidation services. It's not as easy as it might seem. You can go to Google, you can type in Amazon liquidation or product liquidation services or anything like that. And it's possible for this to happen. Basically what they do is they buy all your inventory at a super, discounted rate, and they'll try to sell it for you, or they'll sell it for you, or they'll buy it from you. And the thing is though, with these kind of situations is that it doesn't always work. So a lot of the times these liquidation sites, they want a lot of inventory. If you only have 200, 300, 400 units, it's not ideal. They're looking for like 10,000 units to actually buy up and sell. If you can find a smaller liquidation site, it's definitely something that can help you. But I remember reaching out to a lot of them for a certain product that I had, and it just wasn't something they were interested in. They literally just come back and be like, hey, you don't have enough inventory. I think I had like 500 units at the time. Like, we don't want it. We don't want this product, or we don't want this, this little amount of inventory. And that's something you're going to have to deal with as well. And again, like I said, just go onto Google and do some research and contact some things and see if that's a way that you can actually get rid of some inventory. Oh, and you know what? If you have any ideas of like some place, maybe how you sold off some inventory or what you did to get rid of it, then leave a comment down below. Let me know, because if I didn't touch on it, then it'll help a lot of people out as well. So if you've been in a situation like this, if you got rid of your inventory somehow, then leave it down below so that it can help other people out as well. So guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you did get something from it. If you did, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions or anything like that, leave a comment down below. I'll be in here answering questions as well. And I will see you guys in the next one.